Hello there, welcome back. My name's Rob Satchel, as you know by now. Welcome to Chennai in India. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. That'll be me in about 6 hours time when I leave India for Bangkok, so I can go to China, so I can go back home. Believe it or not, it was cheaper to do it that way. Yeah, so welcome to Chennai, formerly called Madras, in the Tamil Nadu state of India. I don't know if you can see that the moon is, yeah, there. Yeah, and she's looking beautiful tonight. As you can see, there's loads of people out on the beach this evening. It is Sunday the 4th of January 2015, and people are still sort of celebrating the new year and in all fantastic spirits as they usually are in India. I'm sorry it's a little bit darker than I expected. It got dark really quickly. I wanted to mention a few things. Because I was beach bumming it basically the last 7 days in Goa, and I come back here, you'll notice that, well, you can't probably see that there's nobody actually in the water, and that's for good reason, because it's got rather strong currents and stuff in quite frequently. They have rip tides here, and if you don't know what a rip tide is, it's basically where two tides on the beach converge at the same point, and of course they're battering against each other, and then they push out because they can't go inland. The volume of water just gets pushed in a sort of in a river effect away from the land, and basically if you're swimming along and you find yourself rather rapidly going out towards sea, you could be actually one of those riptides. But anyway, a lot of people here drown each year, and they're all swimmers, unfortunately. And it is due to the bad currents and stuff here. You'll see that there's nobody in the water, but yeah, basically just don't go in the beach off. Well, the beach is off Chennai here. We're just south of the city centre in sort of southern Chennai at the moment. But yeah, the ocean looks very beautiful and very tempting and stuff. But don't go in it. If you do, or if you're back home, I don't know, down North Devon, Cornwall, or even in California or anywhere around the world, and you find yourself rapidly being drawn out to sea, you'll be in one of these currents. What you do, obviously, you don't swim back to shore where you are, because you'll just be swimming against the current and you'll be wasting energy. And that's how people die. They just run out of energy, and then they get cold, and then you're you're going to be a goner, unless the lifeguards or air sea rescue gets you. But never rely on anybody else. Always make sure that you save yourself, or try and save yourself. If you get in that position, I'm rambling again, I've got to speed this up because I want to show you some stuff in the pack. Basically, swim in a parallel direction to the actual beach line. Swim either to the left or to the right. I will swim to the right if I can, out of that stream. So you're heading along the beach but paralleling it, quite far off the beach probably by now, until you get out of that stream, and then rest for a couple of minutes and then swim back into shore. Okay, if you're too far out, shout to people on the beach, do 2 arms in the air, and like you're going way at a concert. But that's the international symbol. If you're on land, stranded in the mountains, or more importantly now, as I'm talking about the ocean, if you're in the ocean, stuck in the ocean, especially without a life vest or anything, stranded, 2 arms in the air, and you're doing that with both of them, and then that's you're signaling people that you're in danger. But yeah, like I say, do that, and then, or if you can, just swim crossways of the current, so parallel with the beach to the right or to the left, and then rest for a little bit and then swim into the beach, and then you'll be fine. Anyway, that's rip currents and tides. Yeah, don't swim it. Goa, on the other hand, I know this is criminal, but I didn't actually go on any of the beaches. I saw some of them, but I was too busy relaxing and swimming in the guest house pool and stuff to do that. Anyway, on with it. Just got a few things that I wanted to say. Yeah, a couple of people have asked me on this journey, what on earth do I pack for such a long journey? And this journey's been about 4.5–5 months. on the road and stuff. I did go back to the UK for a day and a half, but that was just to change the contents of some of my backpack and obviously see friends and stuff and catch up. But right, this is my backpack. When fully loaded, it's I try not to put more than 12 kilograms weight-wise, because if you're going to, especially if you're hiking any distance more than 10 kilometers in a day, you really don't want any more weight than that. Obviously that weight plus whatever water container that you're going to carry with you, because you don't want to be without water ever anywhere. I've just got a quick list to just speed this up a little bit. Righto, the most important things, obviously, to keep on you, whether you're backpacking, going on holiday, just across the border to say, I don't know, if you live in the US, just going into Canada, your passport, your credit card or debit card, and your whatever onward travel tickets, and your as well, very important, your telephone. Keep that always on you. I always buy, or try to buy, reasonably priced travel trousers that have zips in the side, and always keep your passport. For this journey, I've kept my passport on me all the time, even slept with it, in a waterproof Ziploc tiny little bag. That I usually keep my credit card with my passport, but I keep my wallet and my debit card separate, so if one or the other goes missing, or you get half mugged, if that's even possible, you've got something else to rely on and something else to get you out of the mess. So yeah, passport, credit card, debit cards, onward travel tickets. Even though most e-tickets, all you need is your passport at the check-in desk at the airport, but keep that always on you. Everything else, I always think, apart from your camera or the memory card on the camera, is expendable. So don't get worried if somebody nicks your backpack or whatever. Okay, the backpack itself, yeah, about that size and all that. I've seen a lot of people with a lot smaller backpacks in Asia. I've packed way too much for Southeast Asia. But I just want to tell you, the North American trip where I was hiking and more self-sufficient in not going to youth hostels and in guest houses as much, I first of all packed, and I'm just going to run through a basic list of stuff here, just to give you a very quick idea of what to take. But don't worry, you'll find this in all good survival books or even guidebooks. They'll have a basic list of stuff to take with you, usually in the front, so don't worry. But anyway, I'll quickly run off the list. It is first and foremost a first aid kit. It doesn't have to be a massive one, but I've upgraded mine for this journey to be one of the ones that actually they recommend, or St. John Ambulance actually pack for roadside injuries and stuff. So it's got a few more things in it, which I thought was far more useful than the normal traveller's one. Right, okay, I'm just going to run through the list. One change of clothes. Why would you need any more? But obviously your swim gear, that's another change of clothes as well. So I like to travel light, and unnecessary stuff, you can just you can buy extra clothes as well on your journey, so don't worry about any of that. Sleeping bag, mine is right in the bottom compartment, because I stick it down there because of access. I can still get access to it if I need to, but I'm not using it all the time in the day, obviously, so I keep it in the compartment that's easy to get to once a day, but I don't need to access it loads. Other compartments, the top compartment there and the side compartments, more and more I found that the backpacks they're starting to phase out, or they're getting smaller side compartments. I love this one with the bigger compartments, because you can put your survival kits in the side. I'll just run through. Yeah, I'm starting to babble now. I'm going to speed up a bit. An emergency shelter. Obviously, this was just for Alaska and in Canada and stuff. What I mean by that is it's contained in a little waterproof box in one of the side panels there, and it's basically 4 bungee cords with little hooks or carabiners on the end, which if it absolutely tips it down with rain, you can set up anywhere, over a, tie it to a fence and then to the ground, put it up in the tree just to cover you, just to save you and your backpack getting soaked. And it's just it or put it up and then put your tent off if it looks like it's going to be tipping it down for loads. Yeah, sleeping bag, footwear and socks. Yeah, that comes under footwear. I've covered a little bit on this journey. Obviously this that's been standard issue for everywhere over in Southeast Asia, except some of the more awkward hiking in the very muddy jungles where you don't really want loads of the leeches and stuff, or worse, biting your feet. But yeah, for that sort of stuff, lightweight trainers is more than ample. You don't need the heavy hiking boots for that. 2-man tent. I didn't use it at all, but it would have been very useful if I hadn't have had those log cabins and food cooking cabins to sleep in Alaska. But that went to a good home in Vermont. Yeah, bog roll and wipes. Obviously, where you can get to them. We are in India, but I haven't had any trouble so far, and I'm going, in a few hours, which is I think unheard of. But I've been extremely careful with the restaurants and the places that I've eaten at, and I've done some of my own food as well, so just to try and save me from it. Yeah. Wipes, always useful. I haven't actually used them to body wash as intended. What I have used them to do is clean my cooking and kitchen utensils and in my burner and stove off before I put them back in the bags to go in the backpack, so just to save the backpack getting messed up. Maps and compass. Obviously at the moment I've got my compass in this watertight little container. I usually use that to carry my mobile phone in, and it's only like a cheapie, hang on, it's only a cheapie mobile phone, and it's yeah, it's not the best, but it functions, and it get an unblocked one and it will hook into any or link into any country's phone system when you get there. It will cost you because you'll be on roaming charges though. Yeah, wipes and toilet roll where you can get to it. Survival pouch also, where you can get to it easier in one of the side pouches, or in the top. Would have warning about side pouches and top pouches though. Don't put cameras or your passport or anything really valuable in there whilst you're going through the airport process, or you're going on coach travel or train travel, because if you go off for 2 minutes, or sometimes, and I have had this happen, luggage handlers just go into the most accessible pockets and just permanently borrow what they fancy, and it's not nice to have stuff missing. But if it's like your old socks or just a Tupperware little box that's watertight with a few bits and bobs in, which survival stuff, then less likely to take that and stuff. Yeah, map and compass, if you're going to use it. I haven't, to be honest. Survival pouch, I've already said it, yeah, more like a little box. Mug, I haven't used a mug so much on this one. This is I'm gonna have to do a part 2 of this. I'm almost out, so I'll just get the mug out and some other stuff, and I will see you guys in part 2 of Chennai backpack experience, or whatever this is going to be called. See you in 2 minutes.